The following is a transcript between Matías De Stefano, referred to as me, and his higher self, referred to as I am, originally produced on April 8, 2021, under the constellation of Aries, in the mental week examining through the knee chakra. Me. Let me guess, the next question also comes from the Indo-European cow, KWO, object. I am, that's right. Can you identify what particle and suffix follows it? Me. Well, we are on our knees today, and they are always related to history, to ancestry, to the roads traveled. So I guess the question is when. I am, that's right. And the particle, it is attached to cow, is the suffix do, dio, an Indo-European particle that indicates location or place. Me. But that would be where. I mean, it makes sense because of the question where is a question of place, and it starts with do. I am. Yes, however, the question where focuses on the place of origin, do in de, place where you come or go. On the other hand, the question when has another function, that it is to ask where the object or subject was. The construction of the question refers to the temporal location, like asking, in what place were you when such and such happened? Me. So in this language, the idea of time is not based on something intangible, but on tangible things. I am. For the ancients, the concept day, night, hour were not subjective aspects, but objective. Day comes from diwi, which means brightness, sun. Night comes from dingjwa, D-N-Y-E-G-W, which means brightness without sun. Time was relative to the sun, and therefore time was calculated according to the sun god. Me, Horus. I am. The god Her, said in Greek Horus, is born and sets on the edge of the sky called horizon. Horus, Kaikun, the limit of the will. His rays give origin to the divinities of the Egyptian Pantheon, about 24 divinities, 12 of light and 12 of shadow, all born of the light, Her. These divinities are called Horus. The ancients thus divided the day into 4 sacred parts. The morning, ma ninan, equaling a good new. The noon, light in the middle. And the afternoon, slow behind something. And the night, without brightness. And each of them would be composed of 6 hours. The same was replicated for the 4 seasons, whom the Greeks called their season divinities as horas, sundials, made it possible to divide them into these 12 hours, although that were variables due to the equinoxes and solstices. This was solved with the water and sand clock, which marked the time according to the quantities of both minerals, allowing to know the measurement of light even during the night, whether winter or summer. Me. Time, as we know it today, did not exist for ancients. I am. What is time as you know it today? Me. I don't know. More conceptual? Nobody looks at the sun or the stars to define a time anymore. They just look at a clock and interpret time as something that is happening, although, if I have to define it, I don't know. I am. You can't define time without space. Well, they are the same thing, and the ancients understood it well enough, though they didn't have a Swiss or atomic clocks. Time is a unit of measurement of the processes that happen in matter. In Latin, the concept tempus does not describe what you know as time, but as the fraction of a process, limiting fractions. It comes from the Indo-European temp, meaning to extend or expand, that is, related to the extension of a process. How much expansion of matter is necessary for a caterpillar to become a butterfly, or for autumn to become spring? The whole general process of delay of something in passing from one state to another is known as etes, and its adjective pronounced as eter. Origin of the word eternos, eternal. Eter, eternal, is divided into aeon, A-E-O-N, eon, age or period, originating from the term A-I-W, life. Origin of the word age, Eavim tat. The ages are divided into periods, i.e. peri, around, and hodos, paths, i.e. paths that are cyclical, traversed throughout the life of an age. And they are subdivided into years, annus, coming from the Indo-European at participle of the verb iai, to go or gone, which means both in Spanish and in English something that has gone. The same subdivided into 12 equal measures called months, from the Latin meso, measure. Many years together make up 2 great cycles. A millennium, then, is 1,000 cycles gone, which are divided into generations, called in Latin saeculum, centuries, which in English describe their duration, 100 years, from the Latin cent. And of course, the smallest calculations, minute, originated from minuta, meaning small, and second Latin participle of segur, sequence. Second, minute, hour, morning, noon, afternoon, evening, night, day, month, year, century, period, millennium, age, eon, eternity are all measures of material processes that describe reality in terms of what is perceptible by the senses. Me. So time passes only in function of what matter can feel. But if there is no matter, there is no more time? I am, well, there is nothing to measure. There is no process to calculate at the atomic level. And as we said yesterday, at the quantum level, the idea of time only exists as a function of the processes that happen in classical physics, to which is quantifiable, that which manages to measure sizes and distances, that which manages to measure linear transformations in matter. That is why all words related to time are of locational reference. Me. The words before, now, and after, I am. They take you as an object of reference. Before comes before, and that is the position in which something is in front of something else, to be in front of. Now, this describes a particular position at a particular time, that is, under a particular beam of light, whereas in English it describes what is new, what is just developing. Now equals new. Then it comes from the particle di apo, describing the direction in which something is heading away from the vision of a point of reference, a concrete location. Me. And the past. I am. Past, stepped on. Past comes from passus, which are the steps taken when walking. Therefore, the past is the path already traveled by the steps of the walker. Me, present. I am, from the Indo-European particles prae, P-R-A-E, in front of, and es, being, whose participle is ante, entity. Present is the one who is in front of what is. Me, future. I am It arises from the Latin construction of the intensional participle of the verb ser, esserser, sum, which in its intention of transforming itself into something else is pronounced fu, like saying fury or fuus. The Latin construction of that which is in the process of transformation describes this act with the suffix turi, leaving futuri to refer to that which transforms its being, me. Time does not exist as such, therefore as a unit apart from space. I am, but it does exist as a concept of measurement between the microcosm and the microcosm. Pay attention, the universe is in constant transformation, therefore everything goes through a process. The ways in which processes occur in the universe or another are the only things that change. Change is constant. For the macrocosmos, everything begins with the quantum, and from there to the large space governs time. But towards the small, from the quantum to the microcosms, it is time that rules space. Me. I always believed that time rules matter, eats away at it, destroys it, rules the process of matter. I am. If you take the idea that is the microcosm that governs the existence of the macrocosm, yes, it is the temporal aspect of reality that will determine matter and space. However, all that you have as a human considered time is nothing more than an interpretation of the physical and mineral laws of space. Everything we have described in relation to the measurements of time has made it clear that you, that have a way to move you through time, is nothing more than a descriptive narrative of what happens in space. Me, I understand. Everything we call temporal is nothing more than a way of calling things it happens in matter. I am. But when you enter the microcosm, the laws of matter and thermodynamics vanish, and it ceases to be the objective that manifests reality, and everything becomes a subjective manifestation. It is there where time takes on logic, and it is there where matter expresses itself as a function of time. It is there where the when really lights up. Me. Because in the microcosm, matter does not follow alchemical rules, but follows subjective laws. This would be understood then, observing how, in the reality that we live in the macrocosm, what we consider past, present, and future. They cannot touch each other because they refer to what exists, always to what is, because the past was not left behind, but transformed into the present. In matter, time is subjective, unreal, a non-existent idea, which only serves to describe states of matter, of what was, what is, and what will be, although in reality there is only what is. And on the other hand, in the microcosm, it is the opposite. The only thing that constantly exists is what was, what is, and what will be. That is, all probabilities in one, the zeros and the ones exchanging their roles, being wave or particle at the same time, and matter then is the subjective interpretation of time. Therefore, outside the physical laws of the macrocosm, time becomes relative, and a particle can manifest itself in the past or future at the same instant. I am. In the third dimension, in the macrocosm of matter and space, you are a traveler passing through a landscape in transformation. And if you walk for a year in a circle along the same path, you will see the same trees changing their colors, dropping their leaves, blossom, bearing fruit, withering, to be born anew and begin the cycle all over again. But in the fourth dimension, in microcosm of essence and time, you are the walker through a landscape in which the trees are the history, the past, the present, and the future events of your existence. And as you walk the path again and again, you can see your childhood and your death again. In space, you can walk backward on the path to see a tree that you passed long ago and caught your attention. And in time, you can do the same until you reach an event that also caught your attention. Me. It's strange. I am. The when is the where of the fourth dimension. Me. And what is the use of understanding the when? I am. To remember that when you close your eyes, when you meditate, when you look within yourself for the answers of the past or the clarity of the future, you can see them as when you walk down the street. When you look at the world with open eyes, you inhabit time from the eyes of space. When you close your eyes, you inhabit space with the eyes of time. Me. That's what I call imagination. I am. And imagination is the language of the fourth dimension. There you can talk to your ancestors, resolve past issues, relive old emotions, or invocate, project, experience the illusion of the future, find answers and solutions to what is happening now. Me. So if in space everything is here, I am. In time, everything is now. Me. The times I ask myself, when should I do it? When is the exact moment? It does not depend on the time coming, but on how I prepare myself to live that time. I am. For the only thing that will really make a difference is your presence. It is not the future. For the future is what you intend to be, and to achieve it, you must begin to transform yourself, for nothing happens without you taking the step. Time is a mental construct. So when you seek to live something, you must simply throw yourself into living it, or it will never happen. Me. For when is the path that is built as you walk? I am. Matter is conditioned by thousands of steps, the stars, the gravity. There are enormous forces that determine what you are, because everything you live is governed by the laws of space. Therefore, the times are calculated not only according to what you wish or expect to live, but also according to what each particle is manifesting. That is to say, you cannot stop the sunrise, but you can travel faster to the east. Space is conditioned by the will of an existence far greater than your personality, but it is the conscious decision of your being that you must discover the freedom to be swept along by such forces, or to take the will to surf the waves of time. Me. Therefore, I must look within the eyes of time. I am. For I am the vision of history. Me. For I am the now.